What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So guys, today is a little bit of a step backwards because I have already done some rugby reactions, both league and union. But today I'm gonna make sure I have the concept, the two different codes of the game, kind of locked down so that I know the difference going forward, because you guys are steady getting mad at me for not knowing the difference between league and union, and you guys have tried to explain it to me in the comments, but it's hard to retain that knowledge. So, long story short, guys, I still don't know the difference, and I'm gonna watch this video that explains it. As always, guys, if you enjoy this video, please be sure to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We're growing rapidly. We're on the road to 2K. I appreciate you guys so much. And as always, guys, comment down below any players you'd like me to react to, any teams you'd like me to react to, etc. One last point before I get into this video. My second channel is going to be starting very, very soon. I got the banner back for it, and now all I need is video ideas, guys. So, if you are interested in my second channel, which will be reactions to anything, vlogs about my life, Q&As if anyone cares about that kind of thing, just let me know down in the comments, guys, and we're going to get content starting to be pumped out on there too. So, guys, I appreciate you all, and let's just get right into this video.
And it explains the differences between rugby union.
Shout out to this channel, guys.
But first, a history lesson.
Let's get
Back
this
in
history
1823, at a local football match in the town of Rugby, an English schoolboy named William Webb Ellis supposedly picked up the ball and ran with it. Pretty soon, this became a popular game, and in 1871 led to the creation of the governing body known as the RFU, the Rugby Football Union.
Okay, so rugby was created by a football player, a soccer player, picking up the ball and running with it. I like it. I like it.
Of which still exists.
And everyone else wanted to tackle
That's
him.
nice and all, but why are there two different kinds? Back then, there were two different kinds of players. Firstly, there were the amateurs. These were public school boys or people rich enough to play the game for free and who didn't need to be paid. Secondly, there were the professionals. These are the people who were so poor that they needed to be paid to play a child's game because they couldn't afford time off work. Nowadays, being a professional sportsman is quite a good job, but back then, it was seen as worse than prostitution. Professionals were used.
I don't want this to be like the pausing point, but what were we just looking at?
Nowadays, being a professional sportsman is quite a good job, but back then, it was seen as worse than prostitution.
I don't know about that, guys.
Professionals were usually from the north of England, usually from Lancashire and Yorkshire. Pretty soon, though, they realised that being paid money to play a game wasn't such a bad idea and started forming fully professional teams. The RFU, not happy that these northern professionals were beating the southern amateurs at their own game and being paid quite well for it, decided to ban professionals, ban professional sports teams, and anyone playing professionals or professional sports teams.
So people were just playing rugby for fun? Like, no money, no nothing, like just tackling the hell out of each other and quite possibly injuring each other for fun? Let me know. I know that people do play for fun.
Not liking this, set up their own league in 1895 and called themselves the Northern Rugby Football Union, later to be named Rugby League, whilst the RFU named their sport Rugby Union. These two sports
separated by 24 years.
1895, and to this day you'll find most of the professional rugby league teams in the north of England and most of the professional rugby union teams located in the south. Okay, so what is the difference? In general, both kinds of rugby have the same idea. You have to run with the ball and touch it down onto your opponent's in-goal area to score. You can pass the ball sideways or backwards, but not forwards. The opponents have to stop you by grabbing the ball carrier and pulling him to the floor. The main difference between the two sports is what happens after the tackle. Okay,
so now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of what the video and what the sport is about. Which is good, because everything up to now, apart from the history lesson, is stuff I kind of knew. So, let's see what happens after the tackle.
In rugby union, the tackle is contested. This means that as soon as a tackle has been made, the ball carrier must let go of the ball. This also means, in theory, that either player on either team can pick it up and run with it. This is known as the ruck, and it looks like a giant mess of bodies pushing each other and lying around on the floor a bit, and it is, sort of. In rugby league, however, the tackle is uncontested. After the ball carrier is tackled, the opponent must let go of him, and his team must retreat 10 metres. They must allow the ball
really? Okay, I haven't even seen that in highlights.
Forward with the ball again. The team with the ball is allowed up to 6 tackles to score before the referee gives the ball to the other team so that they can have their 6 tackles. This might seem like a minor rule change, but this has resulted in 2 almost completely different sports. Other differences include 15 men play in a rugby union team as opposed to 13 men in a rugby league team.
So guys, the World Cup, what code is the World Cup? Is it league or union? Let me know.
5 points for a try in union, 4 points for a try in league, 3 points for a penalty kick in union, 2 points in league, 3 points for a drop goal in Union, but only 1 point in League.
Interesting.
There are many other rules that differ between the two codes of rugby, but those are the main ones you need to know about. American football fans who watch Rugby League for the first time generally understand it very quickly, as these two sports are very similar. The same cannot be said about Rugby Union, which will forever confuse our American friends for years to come. So why did Rugby League change the rules? If you remember the professionals of 1895, they needed to be paid. To make more money from spectators, they had to change the rules of the game to make it more exciting for spectators to watch. This includes reducing the scoring, reducing the number of men, and including an even amount of possession by limiting the tackles per team. This is why some people say that Rugby League is more exciting to watch. Union fans would argue that they dumbed down the rules because their tiny little northern monkey brains couldn't understand Rugby Union, but this is certainly not the case.
Yeah, that's
Union
offensive.
fans refer to Rugby League players as idiots, whereas League fans think of Union players as fat public schoolboys who can't take a hit. So what's
God
more
damn,
popular?
guys,
Rugby
Lord.
Union is the more
Why
popular
can't everyone
sport,
just get
as
along?
It's been around for longer. It's also the de facto code of rugby that you'll probably learn in school. Only a handful of countries play Rugby League, and in fact, the only country where Rugby League is more popular than Rugby Union
Australia.
is Australia. But in reality,
Get in there,
when
I
most
got
people
it.
say rugby, they're usually referring to Rugby Union.
Okay.
So which is better?
Good. That is what I need to know for you guys. So if they refer to rugby, if they just say rugby, they're referring to Rugby Union. Got it.
To that question, let's use an analogy of chess and checkers.
Chess is better.
Checkers, like Rugby League, is a very simple game to understand. Every piece is the same, and they all have an equal role.
Well, I guess-
It's a fast game, and
I
you
guess
really
that
don't
just
need to
gave
be
you
a
my
genius
answer.
to understand what's going on. Chess, like Rugby Union, is an infinitely more complicated game to understand. Some pieces are different than others and perform different roles. It's a much
That
slower
makes
game,
sense.
and it's all about strategy and tactics. You have to be more tactically aware to play Rugby Union, but you have to be fitter to play Rugby League, as your job mainly consists of running with a ball and being smashed in the face for 80 minutes.
Nice.
So the question
Nice.
is, which do you prefer? Chess or checkers? Rugby League or Rugby Union? The only way you'll truly know is to watch or play both kinds of games and deciding for yourself.
Alright guys, well I definitely have to check out more of both games now that I have more knowledge of both codes of the game and see which one I honestly prefer. I like the idea of Rugby Union in that that's what I assume they play in the World Cup and that's the more traditional code, but at the same time I like the idea of League because a lot of my subscribers have told me it's a lot faster paced because, as the guy said, they're forced to give them possession again after a successful tackle. So it makes for a lot, I'd say, more generally exciting movement. Cool jukes, cool fakes and steps and whatever. Speaking of, I'm gonna do a steps video soon. And yeah, guys, I definitely feel like I know more about rugby than I did before. I appreciate you guys for recommending this video. It was recommended quite a long time ago when you guys obviously saw that I was not very knowledgeable when it came to rugby. But either way, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you, especially if you've made it to this point in the video. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Cricket video tomorrow, AFL the next day. We move, so on. I appreciate you guys. Peace.